All right, good morning. Today is September 18th of 2024, and going to go over today's outlook as well as yesterday's price action, actually. So yesterday I had a pretty crappy morning. Well, not crappy morning. I actually had a really good morning, but I had a pretty crappy start to the morning. First session, the 10 o'clock macro was not so good because I was in a hurry really to take in some wins, but that's not what trading's about. Trading's about just being patient and understanding that you're not gonna get in just because you want to get in. You have to wait until after the market gives you what it wants to give you, and then you get in based off what the market is offering you. And I had jumped in here a couple of times, but as you can see here, there's really no entry. There's nothing going on here. Um, and so I'm not even going to review those. Those are just not the reason why I don't review them is because I don't want to, um, I guess you can say, um, infect my memory with bad trades. Okay, so yeah, I don't want to infect my memory with bad trades. And the other thing is that there was displacement here, but I still kept on looking for price to draw lower. Okay, but once I disconnected from data, came back at about 11 for the 11 o'clock macro, I realized that we had just taken sell side right here, and we had taken buy side, which is right here. Not only that, though, on ES, we had done the same. And the other thing we had done is we had also taken the previous week high, which was the previous swing high, which is right here. And my bias for the day was that I wanted to trade, I wanted to get short. But again, I was not patient enough to wait. Um, and we had taken, like I said, we had taken previous weekly high um, after we had taken sell side and buy side on the lower time frame. Same thing here. We didn't take any, any, we didn't take any, jeez, we didn't take any buy side or anything like that. But we did draw SMT between this high and this high, and this high and the lower high on the weekly. So that's SMT. Once I noticed that, like I said, I began to look for displacement lower because that's one of the first things you look for. You look for displacement lower, and not only that though, but I like going with the pair that does not break the high and shows SMT between the two. Once I noticed that price did not break this high, I went with with NQ, and I noticed that we displaced lower right at the 11 o'clock macro into 50% of this range. And when I see that, when I see 50% of the range, and that it's within the 50% of the range retracement, I tend to I zoom in and I narrow it even more instead of keeping a broader area. And as you can see, this one is holding two gaps, this one and this one, and you always go with the higher one. The higher one because it gives you a better risk reward, which you could leave it up to here, but I decided to actually put it up to here. Actually, not up to there, up to here, which would be this gap here, because price could quite well trade back into this this gap up here, but it didn't. Okay, so once I noticed that, I got in with three contracts, covered one into this area here, covered one into this area here, and covered the last one once we broke a new low, which was right below sell side, right here for a total for a pretty good profit. So I'm very happy with that. I then once again took another short in the afternoon because I figured or I assumed that we would continue to draw lower after this big displacement here. And I took a short right here once price failed to break this new high, which on NQ, on ES it did. Right here, broke a new high. ES obviously didn't. And so once again, I decided to get short here because whichever one fails to break a new high is the weaker of the two. So I got in. I covered one into well, actually into the break of this low here, and then I got stopped out on the rest. What's that noise? Anyways, and I got stopped out on the rest on the last candle because I assumed the price would sweep this low, but it didn't obviously. Because we do have a clear trend here, but obviously this one got stopped out. I believe it was right here, so a few points below my entry. Uh, but nevertheless, I came out on the day, covered my initial losses, which was just retarded entries, not really good setups. But and then some on the day. So today, what am I looking for? Today, for the morning session, I'm not really interested as much because we just took out the the objective after price traded into this high here. Here we bounced off early, so I am looking for price to draw into this low or this low. But if I do end up getting short, then I only want to get in short into this area because whether we sweep sell side, I'm not sure about because today we do have what's that word? Today we do have FOMC minutes. Actually, not FOMC minutes. We do have the rate decision for FOMC at 1400. So my trades will only so I will look to trade after FOMC, which is around 1430 when he starts speaking, and usually 1430 is when you get the Judah swing, and then anywhere between 1430 and 1500 is when you get the actual move. So today for the morning session, I do expect price to just consolidate if it does, but if this high holds, then I would expect for price to seek 50% of the range or seek sell side because again we did we did just take out the objective here. And so I would be assuming that price would like to seek sell side. We are in a broadening pattern, which is seek and destroy, meaning that price might come up here, trade down here, and do the same all over again. But what I want to see going into the 1400 session is I want to see price develop equal highs or equal lows. Then I want price to sweep those equal highs, equal lows, and then I want to get in. What I do expect is I want to see price sweep these lows here into 50% of this range. Okay, I want this low, and these lows to get swept. I want price to draw into this area here and then draw higher. That's what I am actually looking for the weekly outlook. For the weekly, there you go. So that's what I'm expecting for the weekly objective. I'm expecting these lows to get swept, and then for price to continue on with the trend draw higher. Um, I don't care what uh, what the rate decision is because price has already been written. So once I see where price is likely Draw two, I'll go ahead and take a trade. What I want to see though on price, if I'm going to take a short to get in to get short, is I want to see price create some buy side liquidity, whether it's generated liquidity to the lows or equal highs. If I see equal highs or generated liquidity, I want that generated liquidity to get ran, then displacement lower, similar to this right here. Displacement lower with an entry at 50% of the range. And then I want to target all of these lows here. If price draws relative equal lows, then I'll look for a draw higher. But like I said, I, I, I don't think we draw higher first. Well, let me. I don't think we draw higher without taking out these lows here. So that's what I'll be looking for today. I will be looking for uh, draws lower first and then draws higher. So we'll see. I'm uncertain as to what price does during the morning session. I do want to see, like I said, I do want to see some generated liquidity get drawn going into the afternoon session. But I'm not trading the morning. I'm just gonna paper trade because I do believe that we are in a broadening pattern, and if we are, that's a seek and destroy profile. So that's what I'll be looking for. I'll be looking for displacement coming off the 10 o'clock macro, and then if I see that, I'll look to take a trade into 50% of this range or this range, because I do believe that this right here is the final stop for sell side. Then if I get that, then I'll probably target 50% of the range and then sell side of the range. But yeah, that's it for today. I don't expect there to be much other than 10 o'clock, the 11, 12, 13 macros. I don't expect to do nothing. I think it'll be silent until after that. So whatever price draws doing the 10 o'clock macro, I think is the best shot to take a trade. But afterwards, I don't see anything else. Sell side and buy side has already been taken on the sessions, as you can see here. Same thing here. You can see that these sessions have already been taken. Let's go ahead and change this also. Right there. We are trading within this imbalance here on the hourly. And like I said, I don't expect price to draw higher. So I just have to minimize these. So I would expect for price to maybe try to reach a little higher. Right there. Right here. So I do like ES better because 50% of this range is kind of overlapping with this gap, and as you can see, we've already closed above it. So we might trade into this gap here as well. Let's draw this one. Let's make sure that this is there we go. All right, so again, I'm looking again, price moves in two directions. It moves to generate liquidity. Let me rephrase that. Rebalance imbalances and to take out liquidity. So actually there is an SMT right now. Right here with these equal lows. Okay, I like this one. I'm not gonna take a trade. I'm gonna take a trade in NES. There's SMT on the hourly and on the weekly. I mean, on the 15-minute. We do have relative equal highs, but down here we have relative equal lows as well. But it's not during the macro, so uh, we do have, yep, we do have SMT. Um, let's try one at 78 point, 8.75 right there. All right, so I'm in there, and my stop will be up here. To try to cover down here. I like the setup. I like that we took buy side already. And we took buy side right here. And it did happen during a macro, which is right here. Took out sell side. I I wouldn't be surprised if we took out buy side once again before price draws lower. But if these equal highs don't get drawn, don't get swept, then that's fine too. All right. All right, so let's just leave it at that. I I swallowed some toothpaste earlier this morning, so my throat is a bit scratchy. On the 5 minute, we took out sell side here. We took out buy side. We already took out buy side on the 15 minute. We took out sell side on the 15 minute. So we have three time frames in agreement. So we'll see. I'm gonna add another one here at 925. Let's see, because what I want to do is uh, pyramid in and then pyramid out by taking one off here and the last one down here if it's correct. All right, so just just got that. I think we are going to have another form of SMT here if price sweeps this high on NQ. What was I going to do? All right. All right, so it looks like we're about to sweep that high. The only thing that would make my this trade wrong is if we do keep on drawing higher, because I do see here a gap. So we'll see. But we do have an imbalance here along with an order block. But we already met the objective, so that's why I'm short biased for now. Same setup here. This low touched the gap by a couple of ticks. So this PD array is holding strong. There's also a 1 hour order block, but I choose to go with a 15-minute because it's the more defined of the two. I don't like that we haven't traded lower yet, um, because it's close to. If this were to have been the move, then I would have wanted it to be during the 9:30 macro. I mean during the 9 macro. So I'm risking 2.5 points. So we'll see. Again, SMT between ES and NQ. All right. Looks like we're about to. Well, YM is about to take that low that I was aiming for, so we'll see if ES and NQ follow through. And NQ just took that high once again. So we'll see. 1.3, 1 minute and 30 seconds left. All right, so we're about to hit 50% of that range. Then I'll switch my stop to, actually, let's do it now in case we do get stopped. I mean, in case we take this one. Ten more seconds. Oh no. All right, so we just took one. Let's see what the next one does. I don't want to stay here longer than I have to, so I'm gonna put my stop one tick above break even. And YM is still drawing lower. Yep, YM is also has SMT where it did not sweep this high here. So you got a lower high right around this area here, and we're about to hit that. Outstanding. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That took less than what? Less than 2 minutes to hit. So now there's no bias. Now the objective has already been met. Um, so the 10 o'clock macro should not really play a big role. The only thing I can see happening is if this gap holds, then we might draw back into this area here. So technically, this is buy side now, because like I said earlier, we are tackling seek and destroy, where we sweep the lows, sweep the highs, and we're generating liquidity until the 1400 macro. On NQ we have 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4 drives. So I would like to see price draw through here. The reason why I drew this here is because you have a bearish PD array. Another another scenario would be if we break through all of these lows and we generate liquidity all the way down this way. If that happens, then we might get something off of the FOMC rate decision. Okay, so NQ is drawing lower, but it's having trouble getting through these PD arrays here. So there is SMT between ES and NQ at the lows also. 50%. So we'll see. We just hit 50% on ES, on NQ as well. So I want to see if it holds this area here. And I also want to see how the 50 minutes close. Because if the 50 minutes close above the previous sell side, we might get a long entry. But that all has to do with what happens within the next 15 minutes until the 9:50 macro opens up. YM is still drawing lower. Well, not drawing lower, it's actually holding above previous day low. Alright, so we're still holding. Order flow is still bullish. Higher time order flow, higher time frame order flow, daily order flow. So the hourly is bearish, as you can see here from yesterday's price action. We do have change in state of delivery after price swept these lows here on the hourly as well. But just because it does that, I don't expect price to be fluid going down here. But then again, I might be wrong. So 3 scenarios really. price reverses here, price continues lower, or price just consolidates. I think though, if we do consolidate, I mean, if we do draw lower here, then I might be tempted, or not tempted, but I might be looking to get long um, down here, because that would be a V type of scenario, kind of like this one where we took out all these lows and then we shot up during the afternoon session. So the reason why I took a short here is because obviously, like I said, this was sell side and we had relative equal lows. These lows, even though they were relatively equal, um, they were a bit more broad as opposed to how narrow these were. And we just drew, we almost swept that. All right, well, we just swept that as well. So this is the 15-minute I was talking about. This is the 15-minute gap, 15-minute order block. Actually, it's this order block here. It's been holding price higher. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's actually this one right here. Let's just get rid of this one then. So I want to see what price does there. 10 minutes until the macro. If price sweeps this low, then that trade idea is gone. I like how it's holding, but it's not within the macro, so I won't zoom in just yet. Oh, another reason why I took this trade also was because of the highs that were being drawn. Here you have intermediate term high, long term high, new high. So each high was being broken. You have three drive patterns here, SMT on the 15-minute. These highs failed to break above the previous one. So that's the market telling you, hey, I'm drawing lower. This could be an entry long, but I'm not really liking it. So if anything, I do like this right here. We have market structure shift now. Later on, I would like to see price come into this area for me to get long. But I won't switch that just yet. I want to see how price closes on the 15-minute here in about a minute and 30 seconds. We're about to close. We barely touched 50%, so I'm not going to listen to that just yet. It seems like right now all we're doing is we're rebalancing imbalances. So that's what I'll stick with for now. Okay, we just drew into 50% of the range, but it's not during the macro yet. And we did hold at this broadening pattern here. So if anything, price does need to come back up here if we're going to stay within the seek and destroy profile. One minute more. All right, let's take a look at the 1 minute now. Hmm. I'm not sure we get a sweep here. If I miss it, then I'll be looking for an entry up here. I want to see price close above this candle here. If it does, I may take another stab at it. If we get another sweep, then that's actually better. Same thing on the NQ, but I don't want to see NQ sweep this low here. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turtle soup that entry. Should have actually been down here, but now my stop is here. Sell stop limit. And my sell limit is up here. Let's take a look at the 15-second, because there's no entry on the 1 minute. Oh crap, it just happened. Right here. A little more. Yep, it's gone. Let's see. I don't want to see price close below this area here. There it goes. Yeah, I think I missed it. Yeah, I don't want to see price. Well, if it does come down here, that's fine, but I don't want to see it come down here, close below this area here. That would be my stop. right here. All right, so it's gone. I can get rid of this. Yeah, right there. I would like to take one contract off here, but I would have had to gotten in here. Damn, that entry happened real quick right here. Okay, so if we are going to go to these highs, I would want price to, let's see, yeah, I don't like that. We closed above 50% of this range here. We haven't swept here yet. All right, so I'm gonna put another buy here. That would be a turtle soup off of this entry, but looks like I'm not gonna get it. Might still not. I don't know. Of course, on the day that I decide to paper trade, my trades are delivering really quick. All right, so I might get triggered in there. Relative equal lows here. So it might come back to take that out. I want to see what happens after price, if price takes out that high. Well, we are about to close above this gap here. Let's see what happens if we do. All right, so we just swept that high. That's buy side. And lower my stop to right here. I mean, ideally, I would like to see price just continue to draw higher, but um, given how liquidity works, I want to see this low get swept and then the continuation higher. And if we don't sweep, then that's fine too. Let's take a look at the 30-second. Same thing on the 30-second. Let's take a look at the 1 minute. Right here. What just happened? Oh no. All right. Software just crashed. I'm trying to get back in there. I haven't had that happen. YM is drawing lower and Q is drawing higher. All right, so I don't know what's happening. Let's go back to really. All right, no, it's actually December. Load right here. Okay, all right, so we're back. Reload. 30-second. All right, so we have 3 drives on NQ now, but since my bias remains, I'll put my buy now right here. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. Nothing, but there again, there is SMT between this low and this low and this low and this low. I want to see price close above this gap here. All right, so got back in. So this is the real turtle soup. Well, for me at least. So now what I want to see is I want to see price close here. I like how as soon as this one broke, price closed above it. Let's see if I can pyramid in another one. I want to see price close above this here. And if it does, I'm going to buy another one, move my stop to here. We haven't swept high yet. Actually, we just did. All right, so that's it. I'm not going to buy it anymore because we just swept that. You know what? Let's leave it and put my sell stop here. If we sweep this high, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell one here, whichever one gets taken out first. All right, so now I put my sell stop here, and that's it. So now I get to wait and see what it does. Does it want to come back down? Because if it takes this out, if it sweeps this low, then that trade idea for price to draw higher is gone. I would like for price to hold here. We got a balanced price range. All right, so we close that constant encroachment of that gap. We have 3 drive pattern. That's a bearish sign, but I am bullish still, so we'll see. And for the last contract, I am risking 3.5 points. Okay, all right. So we had 2 wins, one on ES, one on NQ. This might still be another turtle soup, but I'm not willing to do that anymore. That was on the 15-second. The reason why this one worked out is because first it took out buy side, then it took a sell side, balancing this range out. Now we're just getting to draw higher. We have 3 drives here, so now we might get the draw higher, but I'm not willing to do that anymore. But let's say I was to get in long here again. My stop actually should have stayed with this area here. Yeah, let me write that down real quick. Let's assume that my stop would have been here. Yeah, this should have been my, yeah, it should have been left to my original stop. Because price does like to do that a bunch of times. It does like to hold. Well, it does like to sweep a couple of times without touching 50% of the range, and then you get that move higher. Now, if we are bearish, then I do understand why 50% of this range is holding, and now we're drawing lower. Yep, so I would have been stopped out finally. Okay, so I guess we are reaching towards these lows here because we are still bearish. Um, None of these on the 1 minute tell me that we took out buy side. We took out buy side here, but none of these lows here. Oh, maybe this one here. Maybe one more sweep of this low. But aside from that, I don't see another entry. It all depends on what price does after it sweeps this low here. The fact that we took out sell side first and then buy side tells me that this is reaching for this low here. But after it takes out sell side, I'm not sure what it's going to do. And we have yet to sweep this low here. So to me, even if it sweeps this low, I would still like to see a draw higher. We just hit the end of the macro. Let's just wait a little more before I cut it. What's YM doing? Well, YM is drawing higher now. I don't think this is the low. I would like to see a sweep again. All right, so there it is. We swept that low. Okay, yeah, so that's it basically. I don't care to stay on here anymore because there's no more SMT. The only SMT now I see is between YM and these two, where YM hit these lows, but not yeah, and ES didn't. Let's see if maybe one more try is there. more seconds. Let's see how it closes. Nope. Couple more seconds. All right, let's see. I don't want it to sweep this high. First, I want to draw into here and then to draw higher. Come on. All right, so I'm in there. I close below this area here and I'm out. All right. All right, so I didn't like the tape there. It was just, what's the word? It was accelerating. So yeah, that's it for today. Caught a pretty good win up here into these lows here. Caught another entry here on the 15-second, covered into this area. Got stopped out on the last one at the sweep of this high here. This could be the entry, but I'm not willing to take that anymore. You know what? Let's do it anyways because it is a paper trade. I like this model better than the initial one. All right, there you go. Yeah, this one's better. All right, one more try. We have market structure shift here. I want to see price hold above this candle here. And now we get to draw higher. So we'll see. Cover my first one here. Because the 15-minute is actually pretty bullish. If you notice, after it closed below here, we immediately drew higher. So we'll just see.